Right now, right now. 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 Oh, I got a real good feeling.
We try to bring you high-quality educational and informational content every single day. Why do you think the price is having such an anemic time of the hour? Jump onto the chart. Is this the beginning of a massive financial unraveling? We got to add a little addendum to the show map today. Shall we start here on the daily? Now, we've been looking at the RSI on Bitcoin's daily chart for the last several days. Well, it's been increasing over the last 50 years since the government. Hey guys, what's going on? Jeb here, and welcome back to Coffee and Crypto Live. This is your week daily morning show where we bring you the latest and everything Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. I do apologize, we've been having some technical difficulties this morning, as you have probably seen, but we're here now, and very much looking forward to today's stream, because today we're going to be talking about a major movement that could be incoming at any moment on Bitcoin. Please tell me if you guys are seeing some lag on the stream on your end. I can't really tell on my end. Like I said, there does seem to be some lag going on. Are you guys seeing that? Let's see. Give me 1 second. Like I said, apologies for the technical difficulties. I do believe that there's some issues going on here. Man, it's one of those days where just literally everything goes wrong. Hang on 1 second, guys. I have a solution to this, and we will jump into it. See if I can fix this. All right, guys. Choppy video. Yeah, a lot of lag. Buffering in the UK. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Let's see. There we go. All right. Hopefully you can hear my voice. I'm going to go ahead and jump straight onto the charts. I do have a solution for that in the works. Hopefully that will fix things. I do believe that you'll be able to hear my voice relatively well, though, so I'll go ahead and just skip on over here, and we will get started. Guys, today we're going to be talking about the fact that Bitcoin is in a very, very, very powerful sideways movement. We do not have any volatility on Bitcoin. We have done almost nothing except move perfectly sideways over the last over the last 6 days, and certainly over the last 24 hours. We have seen a rally on Ethereum over the last 24 to 48 hours. We currently see Ethereum sitting up at 23.69. Pretty big rally going on there. Solana is down substantially from its high down to $95. It's also been lagging. It's also been moving sideways, just like the stream. It's also been moving sideways for quite some time. Cardano is down about 3% in the last 7 days. And overall, the cryptocurrency market has taken a bit of a dive. I do hope you guys are able to see what we're seeing here. Let's see. Good. All right. But as I said, today we're going to be talking quite a bit about the symmetrical triangle pattern that Bitcoin is in and the volatility that will likely be coming from that. As you guys know, we talked about yesterday how whenever Bitcoin moves into a period of low volatility, we generally speaking are going to see a period of very high volatility to follow. And we're going to recap on that today because that definitely looks to be like what we're going to see coming in here in just a little while. So let's go ahead and read some names and say thank you to everyone who has joined us. And then we shall get to it. All right, Mike Lowry is in chat this morning, said morning. Good morning to you as well. Overcome 70 by 7 is in chat with the forgiveness. Alex Lawson is in chat. You are awesome. Alex Nybo, Mike Lowry, Sean O'Brien, CB Tone, Michael C, Bob Riley, Bram Ostmeyer, Crypto Ohio, Philly Skills 1428, Schmedley B, Bullish on Parade, Justin Vale, Vale? I'm not exactly sure. You'd have to tell me. Marley is in chat. Sal Ruiz. ¿Qué pasa, Jeb? Muy bien. ¿Y tú, Sal Ruiz? Greg Bonelli said, Jeb, the more time Bitcoin side trades, the less chance going to the low 30s. Could go to 38.5 one more time before coming back up like it did before. I would agree with you. The longer we trade sideways, the less likely it is for us to have a major corrective movement. Mr. Check 1984 said, hey, good morning, Jeb. Good morning to you as well. Got a bunch of people letting me know about the lag. I thought we were seeing a bunch of lag. I think we've got a solution for that in the works. Smitris Shaik is in chat. Pedro Carrion probably is in chat. Juan Silva, Objectively Real, Reality Objectively, and so many more. Thank you, everybody who has tuned in. Hopefully the lag is now solved. Let me go ahead and switch over to my screen here, and you guys can tell me if it is looking better. I do believe that it should be fixed. All right. I believe I know what is causing the problem, so we'll be able to fix that from here on out. Apologies for the delay and for the lag, but now we're going to get started. As I said, today we're going to be talking about the sideways action that Bitcoin has been experiencing, and we are going to talk quite extensively about where that may lead Bitcoin next. So, as I started with a minute ago, let's look at the at CoinMarketCap and our favorite cryptocurrencies here. The vast majority of our markets are sideways today. We have seen significant sideways action on Bitcoin over the last 6 days. Bitcoin has done almost nothing price action-wise. Ethereum is in a similar boat other than the rally that we've seen over the last 7 days. Skipping down to some of the ones we didn't look at a little while ago, Cosmos is doing very well, and Chainlink is one of the big movers and shakers along with Tron over the last week. Chainlink is up 19.11% in the last 7 days, and our Chainlink investment is doing very well. If you guys have not invested in Chainlink, it's not too late, because if I do remember correctly, Chainlink's all-time high is up closer to $60. Let's check here. $50. It's up at $50, so Chainlink is probably going to at least 2.5x to get back to all-time high during this bull market. Solid pick in my book. Litecoin is mostly sideways. Uniswap up 5.14% in the last 7 days. Pretty excited about Uniswap. A lot of people want to say, hey, look, these are dinosaurs, Jeb. But listen, Uniswap's all-time high is $42. It's still got basically rank number 1. It's basically got the number 1 position in it's pretty much got the number 1 position in all the dexes, so it's likely going to go through a major rally over the course of the coming bull market. There are, of course, a lot of other cryptocurrencies that are newer. This bull market, Near Protocol is one that's doing very well. Immutable X is doing very well. Aptos is having a token unlock pretty soon, but it's doing relatively well. Celestia is up 7.67%. Caspa up 11%. It's up to 11 cents. We're pretty excited about that. Say is down. SWI is up. Actually, excuse me. SWI is down also. And overall, all of these cryptocurrencies are still in great position for the coming bull market. We should continue to dollar cost average as we were doing, and we should continue to look for opportunities for us to make new investments for the coming bull market. All right, Ethereum name service is also doing exceptionally well, by the way, blasted into the top 100. There was a partnership that ENS had with GoDaddy recently. So if you have not looked at this chart, this is one that you might want to consider. I'm looking into getting ourselves some Ethereum name service, because the partnership with GoDaddy is likely going to send it into the top 30 over the course of the coming year. So just keep that in mind. That was a pretty big piece of news that you're not going to want to miss. You can go and look into that on your own. But ENS, Ethereum name service, partnering with GoDaddy, huge, huge deal for adoption. All right. Now, let's talk about Bitcoin, because this symmetrical triangle pattern is the single most important indicator of Bitcoin's coming price action that we have right now on the technical charts. If we look at Bitcoin here, it has a downtrending level of resistance, uptrending level of support. That gives Bitcoin a symmetrical triangle pattern that it should be able to move from. We have a bullish trend that moved into this bull flag, which should give us an uptrend moving out of it. That gives us a price target of roughly $48,000. And we have an inverse head and shoulders pattern, which is looking a little funny, but is technically there. We've got an inverse head and shoulders pattern with a price target right about here that we could extrapolate, would give us a target of about $49,000. So if Bitcoin does go into a rally, there would be a technical backing for that argument. And as somebody mentioned in chat, let me see who that was. I want to give them credit. Someone mentioned in chat, Greg Bonelli, the longer we trade sideways here, the more likely it is that we will not see lower lows. A large part of the reason for that is because there are two different ways that a market can consolidate. Every market after a rally must consolidate. It must either go through consolidation or it must go through correction. If a market did not go through consolidation or correction, it would go up forever. And that has never happened in the history of markets given enough time. A market will always have a red candlestick at some point. It will always have a red season at some point. And that red season, that bearish season, can come and last for a minute, or it can last for 10 years. And it can come in the form of sideways action, or it can come in the form of a drop. Historically speaking, during the beginning of bull markets, we typically see a lot more consolidation than correction because there's so much exuberance in the market. You can see here in 2019 and 2020 and 2021, for about 2.5 years, Bitcoin barely corrected. It basically just consolidated, i.e. traded sideways. And then it just continued to rally. We do have one major exception here, which was the pandemic drop. But of course, that was a fundamental event. It was not something that could be predicted by technicals, and it was not something that was caused by technicals. So we'll kind of just ignore that movement for the sake of argument. Bitcoin during this 2.5-year period very rarely actually went through some kind of major drop. The only instance that you can give here is the drop from 13.8 to the pre-pandemic drop of 6,500. That's a 53% drop. That's a pretty big drop. But it wasn't long ago we were at 5,300. So you could really look at this as actually just a lot of sideways trading inside a huge range. And that is what we've seen happen over the course of this bull market. Bitcoin has gone through ranging action following a major uptrend. We ranged, followed by a major uptrend, and now we are once again ranging. It stands to reason that the longer you trade sideways in range, the better you are at locking in support. And the reason for that shows up on one very important visible range volume profile indicator. If you look at VRVP, whenever you trade sideways, you build a bulwark of VRVP support. As we can see here, we have quite a substantial amount of trading between $25,000 and $31,600. That gave us a huge amount of VRVP, visible range volume profile, support. In short, Bitcoin traded there for some time. And so if we were to come back into that range, there's a lot of support there that Bitcoin would have to break through. That is the entire thesis of VRVP, and it stands the test of time. It also stands historical analysis. You can go back and backtest it if you want. It's a very good indicator. As we trade sideways here, we build VRVP support above $40,000. And so all Bitcoin has to do is take one little leap higher, and then it has a huge bastion of support beneath it, where Bitcoin has traded previously and where traders would then put new buy orders in. That means that Bitcoin, just like in any market, has two options. It can either correct down to previous support, or it can build new support and bounce off of that. Bitcoin, in other words, can correct in space, i.e. in price, up and down, or it can correct in time. Bitcoin will always correct in some ratio of space and time. Sometimes it'll correct 100% in space, and in 5 seconds, it'll drop straight to the support. That is a complete x-axis correction. The market is only correcting really in space. It happens almost instantaneously. Bitcoin flash crashes. A good example of that would be the pandemic drop, where Bitcoin corrected very quickly. And within the span of about 4 hours, it doesn't show up very well here on the weekly chart, but this is only about 4 hours of movement, Bitcoin would drop from $8,000 to $3,800. That was a space-based correction, if you will. A time-based correction is one where we just trade sideways and we don't really drop at all. A better example of that would be summer of last year. We didn't really drop much. Yeah, we had 20% drops, but nothing crazy. We basically just traded sideways for 6 months, and that was good enough. And then sometimes you're going to see a combination where you are trading and trending downward, but you are also trending quite a bit through time. So you have this overall trend. Again, you can either go down or you can go sideways. Those are the two ways to consolidate. Sometimes you're going to move like this. Sometimes you're going to move like this. Sometimes you're going to move like this. Sometimes you're going to spend more time and less price action. Sometimes you're going to spend more price action and less time. And each kind of correction carries with it its own consequences. But the point that Greg was making is a very good one, that if Bitcoin does continue to trade sideways here for some time, as it very well may do, then that builds out support that Bitcoin can then rest upon as we move into the next stages of the bull market. So if you guys have not already hit the like button, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, because we are going to give you guys some answers about why Bitcoin is doing what it's doing and where Bitcoin is going next, so that you can be prepared to make some money in the cryptocurrency space. Quick reminder, I've been seeing a lot of scam videos from fake Brad Garlinghouses and fake Michael Saylors. Those AI deepfakes, if you actually sit there and look at them, you can tell that they're deepfakes. Like, the voice sync doesn't even match up. So please just be careful if you see one of those ads. They are scams. Brad Garlinghouse is not making an ad to talk directly to you on YouTube, more than likely. And Michael Saylor probably isn't either. Michael Saylor has made appearances on YouTube, as has Brad Garlinghouse. Michael Saylor himself has been on this channel, and that was really Michael Saylor. It was not AI. But you do need to watch out for deepfakes. Just want to mention that really quickly. We can teach Spanish if you want. Well, I could really use some Spanish, because mi español es no bueno. No hablo español muy bien. Mi español es más o menos. You're probably like, Jeb, just stop. Just save yourself. Dios te bendiga, everyone. Dios te bendiga. A tu? A tu o para tu? A tu. Dios te bendiga a tu, I believe. A fortune cookie, cool. Any crypto to keep an eye on during the Super Bowl? I have read a little bit about that. I don't believe we're looking forward to any Super Bowl crypto ads this year, unfortunately, because that would be pretty cool. Might be just a little bit early. All right, let's read a little bit more chat, and then we'll jump back into it. Sweet Benabear12 said, "Grand day, Jib." I can almost hear that in a British accent. Thank you, governor. Video seems to be better now. Yes, thank you, guys. Have you been working out? You look buffer. Lol. A little bit. Not much, though, to be honest. I don't know. Not sure why, but maybe I do. I don't know. Do I look buffer? I don't know. You'll have to tell me. All right. Let's raise some, let's go ahead and jump back into Bitcoin technical analysis here. As I said, Bitcoin has quite a lot of sideways trading that it has done over the last couple of weeks, but Bitcoin has also been trading sideways in this range for quite some time. Ever since the beginning of December, we have been ranging here between roughly $40,000 and $45,000. Let me find a clean chart if that's even possible. Not really, but we'll go to one. Here we go. I found one. Bitcoin has basically been ranging between these two levels with some outliers. Who remembers to 8th grade math when you did the box and whisker plot? I need a 1 in chat. Who remembers the box and whisker plot? Right? Who remembers that? I'm serious. If you remember the box and whisker plot from 8th grade math, mine was with Miss Butler. I don't remember. I forgot her name. No, that was 7th grade. What was her name? Anyway, if you remember the box and whisker plot, you'll kind of know what I'm about to talk about here. Bitcoin has most of its trading going on in here, and there's a couple of outliers. Here's the whiskers, here's the box. Well, the funny thing about the box and whisker plot is that it's actually just a candlestick on its side. And so what we're seeing right here is that Bitcoin basically has one big, long, fat, honking green candlestick right here that looks like this. It's got a little sombrero up here and a little goatee down there. Bitcoin has just a little bit of action up here and a little bit of price action down here. But in general, this is the range that Bitcoin's been trading in. And you can see it right here on the visible range volume profile. Bitcoin trading sideways here is its way of consolidating after the rally that led us up here. So we shouldn't just look at this as the correction. We should actually be able to look at all of this as the correction. Yes, the correction technically started here, but now that we have the benefit of hindsight, we can actually see that Bitcoin started kind of correcting back over here. When you look at it that way, then you almost can kind of tilt your head and squint, and you can say that this almost is the local high at $45,000, and then this is just kind of a runaway in hype because of the ETF. Now, this amount of correction is pretty significant because we have already been up here for 65 days. When Bitcoin does correct like this, it'll often stay up here for less than 65 days. As you can see in a lot of these cases, we stayed up here in between about 26 up to about 30 for like 60 days or so. We traded sideways right here for 23 days. If you want to consider the entire sideways trading until this leg right here is about 72 days. So the point is here, Bitcoin is probably going to break out of this range relatively soon just based on historical analysis. It's unlikely Bitcoin's going to continue trading between 40 and 45 for a considerably larger amount of time. It is highly likely, therefore, that we will see some volatility. And even if we go out to the weekly chart and look at Bollinger Bands, you'll see that. The Bollinger Bands are starting to constrict right now. Now, they have not gotten to their full height, but as you can see, the Bollinger Bands right now are $22,000 apart, whereas just a month ago, they were about $22,000 apart as well, but it's a little bit warped because of the what am I trying to say? Because of the scale. So if you take it off of linear scale, it might look a little bit different. But the point is here, at its peak, Bollinger Bands were $28,000 apart. Right now, as we said, they're about $22,000 apart. And they are converging on themselves quickly. You can see the top band is starting to fall over. The bottom band is coming up very aggressively. And so we're starting to go into this converged season of Bollinger Bands. Looking on the 3-daily chart may even give us more understanding here. You can see whereas the Bollinger Bands were $16,000 apart at this point, they're only $5,000 apart at this point because the volatility has jumped off the metaphorical cliff. But if we recall to the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy, which I hope all of you have gone through, if you have not gone through CT2A, you should, and I do believe that you're missing out. The reason you should go through CT2A is for many reasons, but one of the things we talk about over in the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy, which is our academy where we teach you analysis, are the Bollinger Bands. One of the things we'll teach in the Bollinger Bands video is that whenever the Bollinger Bands are far apart, that normally indicates that a period of consolidation or trend reversal is coming. On the other hand, whenever the Bollinger Bands are very close, that typically denotes that you're about to see a large breakout of volatility. So applied, where it may be a little bit more easy to understand, when the Bollinger Bands get very tight, it can either mean that you're about to see it will often mean that you're about to see a large breakout, as we saw here. You can see the Bollinger Bands are very tight. Bitcoin goes on a breakout. Bitcoin had enough of the tight Bollinger Bands. But when the Bollinger Bands are very wide, for example, as they are like right here, the Bollinger Bands actually ended up leading and showing a reversal was coming because they were so wide. When there's large amounts of volatility, typically the order books are very thin, which means the market can move very easily. If the market is able to move very easily, then it only takes a breath to push the ship in another direction, and you can see the entire market shift directions very quickly. However, whenever you see the Bollinger Bands are very tight, that normally means that the order books are very ingrained. You've got, for example, right now, a ton of buy orders between 40 and 42. Got a ton of sell orders between 44 and 46. So if Bitcoin did hit either one of those levels, Bitcoin's basically in a valley. It's not a wide open plain where you can march horses through. You've got to climb over some mountains to get any kind of distance. But you start inching in that direction. And can you have a big breakout? Of course you can. But generally, you're going to start inching in one direction or the other. The point here is that Bollinger Bands are telling us that we're likely about to see a return to volatility. And that return to volatility could happen today, it could happen a week from now, it could happen a month from now. But the point is, it's going to happen, and it will happen relatively soon. By relatively soon, I mean probably within at least the next 30 days. So then that begs the question, where will the market move? Obviously, if the market is going to move, then that gives us opportunity. The worst kind of market for a trader is a sideways market. The worst kind of market for an investor is a sideways market. You want a market that's moving. If it's moving up, then you can sell positions already held, and if it moves down, you can create positions to sell later. So we want the market to move. So within the next 30 days, I believe Bitcoin will be breaking this range, either above this level, below this level. And if it does it relatively soon, I'm more expecting that we're going to break to the downside. If Bitcoin stays up here for another month or so, then I'm starting to think that we might see a break to the upside. In the short-term time frames, we are more likely on the bearish side of things. But if this drags out for much longer, then we're probably going to lean in the bullish side of things. And as we've talked about over and over and over again, it doesn't even so much matter if we get the prediction right. What matters is that we're prepared for both outcomes. And the fact of the matter is that Bitcoin is in a very tight symmetrical triangle pattern right now, which in and of itself will likely see a large breakout of within just the next 48 hours, i.e. before the end of Friday, you're more than likely going to see a large breakout on this symmetrical triangle pattern. It could push into the weekend, but that's unlikely. Normally, when you're about 70% of the way through a symmetrical triangle pattern, you'll break through it. Just a little fact and statistic there that might be helpful for you. If we break bullish here, then we need to watch for a back test of the downtrending level of support, a bounce up to about 44.3 to 44.7, which is our current zone of resistance. I'll go ahead and draw this for you right here. That zone of resistance looks about like that. So we rally up through the downtrend, back test the downtrend as support, then bounce up to and test 44.3 to 44.7, our current zone of resistance. If we're able to break through that, then Lux Algo will more than likely flip bullish on the daily chart, and we will be in great shape. If we break bearish, then we'll probably come back and back test this take profit zone, which could drop us as low as $37,000. Those are our two scenarios, and of course you can plan trades and investments accordingly, but ultimately it comes down to this. If it breaks bullish above 44.3 to 44.7, you've got a great opportunity for a trade. If it breaks bearish, then you've got a great opportunity to load up bags on the investment front. In other words, the investor benefits from the drop, the trader does as well. And the trader more so benefits from the rally. Now, of course, if you're an investor and you're trying to take profits, then I suppose you would benefit from the rally. But in general, we're hoping that Bitcoin will have some kind of volatility because ultimately we can do something beneficial with either direction of volatility. We just need to get the market to move as well. So let's go ahead and read some chat, and then we'll keep it going here. Just bought more on this dip, Juan Silva said. Good job. Good job. Your Spanish is not that good looking. It's not. It's not. Your Spanish is not that good looking. Hey, I know it. I know it's not. Oh, man. Talk about the comment section where people claim they have big windfalls and they mention a trader they work with. Yeah, anybody that... Let me put it this way. If you've got something that you feel like you need to brag about, then you shouldn't have to brag about it because, you know, the Bible tells us, don't boast in yourself. Let somebody else do that for you. That's what they're but they're trying to trick you with that. They're trying to say, ha ha, you know, it's probably that trader writing all those comments, but they're trying to pose as somebody else so that, oh, somebody else is bragging on me. You should go work with me. Please be careful. There are a lot of scams in cryptocurrency, and if you see somebody posting their WhatsApp number down below or saying, oh, I work with this trader and they turned my 1 Bitcoin into 5, it's a scam. All right. All right. Dharmendra Patel said, hi from London. Good to see you. What's your opinion on taking some 401k money without a penalty and no tax implications and buy the ETF? I think that's a great idea. If you've got money in your 401k that you that you want to deploy into crypto, I think there's absolutely nothing wrong with that, because up until now, you basically had no way to buy Bitcoin inside of your 401k. So you were stuck with the stock market and you had to self-custody it, and you didn't get all the tax advantages unless you use something like, I mean, there are certain services, but it was a pain in the butt. So I would definitely recommend to consider that. Now, of course, you would want to sit down with a financial coach or even a financial advisor to make those kind of decisions. If you're interested, I do financial coaching you can check that out, the link in the description box down below. I won't tell you specifically what to do with your money because that is financial advising, but I can definitely give you my opinion, and I can tell you what I would do in your situation, and I can coach you on the structure of how to actually set up those investments. So if you're interested, Pedro, and hopefully you can maybe tell me how to pronounce your name because I'm sure I'm butchering it. Sorry about that. Then you could check that out. But what I will say is that I don't think there's anything wrong at all with taking 401k money and buying the ETF. What I will say is that you shouldn't have to worry about the penalty and the tax implication, because you should be able to buy the Bitcoin ETFs inside of your 401k. And you can move money around inside of a 401k without having to take the withdrawal penalties. All right. MJT Sir HC said, hello, Jeb from Malaysia. Hello. Good to see you. Fury Inferno says, same from Malaysia. There you go. Shout out to Malaysia. Don't buy into the ETF, not your keys, not your coins. Yes, and you do need to keep that in mind. I would rather you self-custody cryptocurrency, but we also have to understand that certain people are just not going to do that, and that's not, and we shouldn't, I think it's okay to buy an ETF on Bitcoin. I think that there are plenty of people that might be the only way they're going to get into cryptocurrency. I'd rather them get into cryptocurrency that way than not getting into it at all. Not your keys, not your coin is true, but at the same time, not your Bitcoin, not your Bitcoin. It's better to have some exposure to the market and then, yes, jump ship and then start self-custodying Bitcoin. But if that's how our friend here, Pedro, I'm just going to say it the white way so that I don't offend anyone, Pedro, instead of trying to roll my R's. If that's how our friend Pedro here is going to get into the cryptocurrency space, then good for him. And yes, I definitely think that we ought to try and self-custody our Bitcoin, but the ETF is not an inherently horrible thing. Which I'm not saying you're saying that, Crypto Surge. Let's see. A lot of whales are buying Link. Can you take a look at it? Yeah, Link is performing very well. Quite excited about what Link has to offer right now. We take a look at Chainlink. It is up, again, like I said, 17.5% in the last week. It's almost blasting into the top 10. Chainlink went to a high of $50 last bull market. It's at 18 right now. I believe my average entry on Link is like $11 or something, so I'm pretty excited about that. Maybe not quite that low, but it's probably something like 12. But Chainlink is doing very well. And if we look at the chart really quickly, then we're going to find that Chainlink has just broken out of a similar range of sideways trading that Bitcoin has found itself in. And so that is very good news, because Chainlink would then more than likely have a price target. Not more than likely, but it would have a price target pushing up towards like $40. You can see Chainlink has this very strong zone of support down here between $4 and $6 that has bounced off of for a long time. We built this symmetrical triangle pattern. Sorry, this sideways consolidation pattern. It's a bull flag. And now that we're breaking bullish out of it, we've got some pretty cool price targets. As you can see, we had a buy signal come in on LuxAlgo. Look at this, guys. If you guys don't have LuxAlgo, go to luxalgo.com/Jeb. Buy it. Okay, just please. You're going to be glad you did. Just trust me. You're going to be glad you did. If you don't like it, there's a refund. So you got nothing to worry about. Go sign up for it. Play around with it. If you don't like it, refund it. But I think you're going to like it. LuxAlgo gave us a buy signal here on the 25th of September. As you can see, it pretty much immediately gave us a price target up between $15 and $22. If you scroll forward, as you can see, that is exactly where Chainlink went to, is between $15 and $22. We hit about 18. We hit right there in the center. And then as we started to break bullish, we moved our price target up. Or the price target is here right between 15 and 22. So it's still there, actually. That's the original price target. But anyway, Chainlink came up here, hit that, went right into the middle of it. Absolutely nailed it. Absolutely nailed it. Very excited about this buy signal on Chainlink. And a buy signal has also come in and been confirmed on the monthly chart. This is really exciting because, as far as I know, this is actually the first confirmed buy signal like this that we've seen in the history of Chainlink. Technically, there was one back here, I suppose, but it doesn't show up because it was the first rally. So technically, yes, there was another one. But you can see here, buy signal came in. Very exciting stuff. I don't believe there's really a take profit yet just because it's such a new buy signal, but wait a week, wait a month, and then out here on the monthly chart, we'll probably have a buy signal, a take profit, I'm sorry, and it'll probably be up here towards all-time high. If you guys have not signed up for Lux Algo, like I said, go to the link in the description box down below, sign up, use coupon code. Actually, you don't even need to use a coupon code anymore, but if it asks, you can do Jeb30. But I do believe you can go to just luxalgo.com/Jeb nowadays. So check that out. And by the way, we will be having Greg Wilkman said, especially with the new announcement, yes, absolutely. As you guys know, because I've told you, Lux Algo and I partnered to create our very own technical indicator. So if you sign up for Lux Algo using our code exclusively, this is the only way to get this indicator. When you see this indicator, you're going to say, man, I need that. If you have ever signed up for Lux Algo and you still have it, so if you bought lifetime or if you're currently subscribed to it, you'll be getting access to this new indicator, and it's really great. I've seen it. I've been able to, look at it and use it, and I'm very excited about it. So if you sign up, then you'll be getting access to that as well. Cardano prediction. I think Cardano is, as I've said for the last 3 years, it really needs to prove itself. I want to see more TVL. I want to see more build out on it. But in general, I think Cardano is going to do very well, and I think especially in light of the recent events on Solana, I think Cardano has a great opportunity here. Its TVL is sitting at $330 million, which could definitely be better. As people like to mention, though, Cardano uses liquid staking, so a lot of that doesn't factor into TVL. It's probably well over $1 billion if you factor that in. But I would like to see more build out on the Cardano space. But I do believe that we are going to see more build out on the Cardano space. If you look at Indigo, for example, Indigo has been gradually growing over the course of the last year. It's currently sitting at 81 million, and TVL is at 8 million. It's a 10x, right? You got to give some of these things some time. If you look at MenSwap, it's a DEX, 75 million in TVL, right? At the beginning of 2023, it was at 20 million. So we've got growth. We just need to see some of these projects come into maturity. A lot of people like to make fun of Cardano for being slower, but at the same time, Cardano's not going down, right? So as much as I like Solana and as much as I put it ahead of Cardano in my most recent video, Cardano is still the cryptocurrency that is more secure and more stable. So I do believe it's going to do well. And like I said, especially in the face of Solana having just broken a year track record of not going down, I am looking forward to what Cardano is going to do. Can you please look at that bullish ascending triangle pattern on ETH right now and give your TA? Sure, we'll do that, and then we'll go ahead and wrap it out because we are a little bit over time. But as you could see here on the 4-hourly chart for Ethereum, there is an ascending triangle pattern, as you mentioned, right here. I believe this is the one you're talking about. There's an ascending triangle pattern right here, which is kind of funny. Why is it kind of funny? Well, the reason this is kind of funny, it's kind of funny, you see. The reason it's kind of funny is because we move down, and then we build an ascending triangle pattern. So the fact that we move down into a triangle pattern gives us a 70% likelihood we're going to drop. However, an ascending triangle pattern also gives us a 70% chance we're going to rally. So it's kind of a coin toss right now when it comes down to charting. If we look on the daily chart, we're going to see that we're still technically under a buy signal, and that buy signal has price targets up towards nearly 3,000 on Lux Algo. And I take Lux Algo very seriously, especially since Bitcoin did fall back down here to the stop losses, pulled the stop losses, but it looks like we're about to rally once again. As I mentioned with Solana, a lot of people are looking at other layer ones that are in competition with Solana right now because it went down. Everybody likes to say, well, Solana's in beta, Solana's in beta. It's true. Solana is technically still in beta. That's why the mainnet's called mainnet beta. Bitcoin has been in beta for 15 years and has never gone down. Cardano, same deal. So I do have my concerns about Solana, and my point with that is that many people are moving away from Solana. Excuse me, not many people, but I'm sure there is some pressure moving away from Solana, buying into the other layer ones, because Solana obviously just took a step back in the horse race, which naturally puts Ethereum and Cardano forward. So Ethereum will likely go into a rally over the course of the next couple of weeks, but is also going to predominantly, even before it goes into a rally over the next couple of weeks, more importantly, it's going to follow Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin crashes, then Ethereum likely will as well. What would the moon phase suggest? The moon phase would suggest where the tides are going to be, and that's it. That's it. That is all that suggests. That's it. All right, guys. Hopefully you guys have been enjoying today's stream, because we are going to go ahead and wrap it out here Shadrach Frost said, folks, please smash the like button right away. It takes a second and really helps this channel. Give back the love and support that Jeb brings to us on a daily basis. Thank you, friends. Mike Lowry said, don't try to predict the market. Be prepared to react to it. That is definitely a word of wisdom right there. It's okay to make predictions, but ultimately we need to react to what the market's going to do and be prepared and be proactively prepared for any possible pitfalls and profitable positions. There we go. There's the alliteration. By the way, guys, before we wrap it out, I do want to let you know that today's stream is brought to you by none other than NordVPN. If you've not signed up for NordVPN, I think you should. And the reason that I believe that you should sign up for NordVPN is because they're going to help you browse the internet freely and safely, which are two of the core values of cryptocurrency. So make sure you sign up for NordVPN, get a 2-year plan for dirt cheap. It's a very, very powerful piece of equipment, very powerful piece of software, but it costs very little. It's very inexpensive because they've managed to mass market it to so many people. They're able to bring their costs down and give that cost savings to you. So make sure to sign up for NordVPN. Make sure to sign up for NordVPN and get access to it with a coupon code that you can find with the link in the description box down below. Go to nordvpn.com/Jeb and stay tuned because we've got more content coming. I am going to wrap it out, but before I go, I do just first want to thank each and every single last one of you for watching, as always, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.